I think you cannot do the work if you are really like a fan of the famous people, because then you cannot ask the real questions. So for me, it was really professional.
Awesome. So, hope you guys are ready. Koos will be with us for 1 hour. Then he has to leave. It's gonna be the shortest talk show in the history of talk shows.
Okay.
But it is what it is. I know you're a busy man. You're also TV host yourself. So, we will do max. So we'll just dig into it. All right. So share with us how it was, how it was life when you were a teenager. What were you dealing with? What worked for you? What didn't work for you?
Well, I am 46.
Mm-hmm.
So in my teenage years, it was the 80s, 90s. And I did, I think I was above average at school.
Mm-hmm.
And I had I think, a safety environment.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of people. I joined friends, family. So I think my youth was perfect, and I had I could do all the opportunities there were there were for me.
Mm-hmm.
But in my teenage years, I also found out that I like boys more than girls,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a really big problem for me, because I felt different, and I felt really alone. I was ashamed of who I am, of who I was, and that makes me unhappy for
Mm-hmm.
several times. Yes, and then I start. Can I go on speaking?
Yeah, yeah, sure,
You're
sure.
getting all the drama.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, no. You
Start with
can,
the drama, and
go.
then in the end.
No, no, no. But look, that's really important, right? Because this is maybe Netherlands is not such a taboo topic. I don't know. You'll share with us, but in Slovenia, it's kind of a still is. So that is great. That is why I want you here. And I
Yeah.
know in many countries around the world, this is gonna be live for some while, and it's gonna be also the show is gonna be on YouTube channel. So it's like it's gonna be out there, and it's good that we are talking about these topics that are in certain places still taboo topics.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you. What I want to say is that, yeah, for me, it was a really difficult time. And of course, the Netherlands are really liberal, and people think you can do what you want to do. But I was raised like a Christian, and my grandparents were really Christian. They did not have TV, and they did not have Christmas tree, and they go to church twice a week, twice Sunday, twice. So they, being gay was not a topic in our surroundings. I did
Mm-hmm.
not know any people who also boys or men who were with boys. Weet je? They they spoke bad about them, and the guys that were on TV, they were not the guys I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
They were, yeah, more like, yeah, I can say without, how do you say it, talking bad about them, but they were more feminine like,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
that I did not recognize myself in them. So it was a lonely period. I felt ashamed. I started using drugs. I smoked weed every day. That was also the period I started drinking alcohol. So it was, on the other hand, I had friends, and I go out, and I had nice holidays, and I went abroad. So I had a nice family, but there was this hidden problem
Mm-hmm.
I had to solve myself. And then, in the age of 22, I left the house with my parents because I started studying in Amsterdam. Then I was in Amsterdam,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was heaven,
Mm-hmm.
because then I had the opportunity to create my own world with friends. And in Amsterdam, yeah, you can do what you want. It's really free. And I started working. I studied communications and
Mm-hmm.
journalism, and I worked in a restaurant, very popular restaurant in Amsterdam.
Well,
So
I'm gonna stop because it's like two topics, okay? Just
yeah,
that there's that I know. So when you come to let's stick to this that you said you were in heaven, it's free. And you can create environment. What was possible for you inside of that? What did you then, how then being gay looked like for you? Before you said I was being ashamed, unhappy, I need to
Yeah.
hide it. And then when you came to Amsterdam, what happened? Amsterdam, what happened?
Yeah, in my own in the village I grew up, it's a little small town, I felt ashamed.
Mm-hmm.
I could not do. I felt not that I could be myself
Got it. Yeah.
because also people yelled at me and a lot of things happened. So I was afraid to show myself. But in Amsterdam, there was a new world. The
Mm-hmm.
people did not know me. There was no background. There was no past. There was only me in Amsterdam. So I could do whatever I want. So I felt free.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really nice for me to go with people who did not have problems with gays or with black people or minorities.
Mm-hmm.
So that opened up for me a whole new world.
Mm. And how did you then become happy? Like, I can finally be who I am. Like
Yeah,
you said, it's like no shame anymore.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I met so many people, and it wasn't an issue at all.
Mm. All
Uh,
right.
yeah, so it was a really free, liberal city
Mm.
compared to nowadays. A lot changed.
Mm.
But then we had the gay games in 2000, I think. We had the
Mm.
gay games. So gay people from all over the world came to Amsterdam. Amsterdam was gay capital of Europe. And it was not that I only joined gay people and I was walking with a rainbow flag to the
Mm.
city. And not at all. But it felt like I was in a place I could be who I was.
Mm. Yeah. Amazing. Got
And
it.
that's one of the main things we all want to be
Mm.
who we are without any thoughts of that people don't like us.
Yeah, without any judging and
Yeah,
assessing and, yeah, being accepted, right?
yeah. And if you're
Amazing.
gay or black or white
Yeah.
or whatever,
Yeah, doesn't really matter. It's just what you are, not who you are, I say. So,
yeah,
so awesome. And you said, okay, you studied economics. That is also one of the big things that as a teenager you deal with, right? With this question, what do you want to study? It's gonna in Slovenia it existed or maybe still exists, like, it's gonna be for your whole life, for your whole
yeah,
work life, for the next 40 years. You have to be really careful about it. So how did you deal with this question? Which topic to so what to go study after high school?
yeah. As a child, I had a dream. I wanted to work for Dutch television,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to present TV shows. But in the village I grew up, they were like, "Yeah, but that's not possible. You better go work at the bank." My father
Mm-hmm.
was working at the bank because, yeah, working at the V that is for the people who live next to the studios, but not for us.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, "Oh, okay." But then, yeah, I had a dream, so I started studying, and during my how do you say it? The school you go when you are 10 years old.
Yeah, just grammar school.
Yeah.
Mm.
Then I did lots of theater things and I started hosting shows and yeah, I was developing myself in my bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
I made shows for TV and I was in front of the mirror hosting them. And so when I had to choose for a study, yeah, there was no study for producing TV shows. There was not. There was not. It didn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Only journalism, but I did not like journalism. I wanted to be in a show, a big show with dance and sing and showbiz.
Mm-hmm.
So then I choose. I did not know what to choose. In that, it was in the same period that I felt really lonely and I smoked the weed every day. So I did some schools I did not finish, and my parents also started worrying. And then I found a school that was about communication,
Mm-hmm.
like public relation, marketing was also, and they had also a video, like making videos. But then it was totally different world. You had a video cam with this kind of tape she put in,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
and then I had an internship, and then the internship was at a TV show, and that
Mm-hmm.
was in 1998, and that was the start of my career in television.
All right, amazing. And you said you wanted to do it since you were young.
Yeah,
So what inspired you? What was the trigger that you wanted to do this TV show?
yeah. That people ask that a lots of times, but I don't know. Since I can remember, I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be at within TV,
Mm-hmm.
make
Oh,
programs, produce programs. It was, yeah,
all right. Cool. I mean, legit, right? It's like
yeah,
something you wanted to do since you were young, and you did not give up on that. So what did it take from you? You said this, the environment was not supporting, and you still wanted to do it, and you still were pursuing that even though the parents were not supporting you. So how did you, what gave you the power to deal with that? Because so many people give up on their dreams when the environment does not support them. So what was your hack in that?
um, it is difficult to answer. For me, it was like I am going to be in TV,
Mm-hmm.
so there was no other option.
All right.
I think, yeah, and I had to take some side steps to come to reach my goal. But it was not about reaching a goal. It was like as if it was planned to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know the law of attraction, Jenny?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the law of attraction helped me.
Mm-hmm.
These days, I did not know anything about the
Yeah,
law
yeah,
of
but
attraction.
I got it.
It was like, yeah, as a young child, I also have pictures for me standing in front of the family, presenting shows in the
Mm-hmm.
living room.
Right. I mean, it's great, right? It's one way to pursue what you want to do in life, right? To follow your passion. It's like you
Yeah,
discover it and you do not give up on it. You just go for it. And like you said, the law of attraction. So when you set your mind on something, you were like, I will find the way. No matter what
yeah.
happens, I will find the way to end up in a TV.
And you
And you
have to
did, yeah.
accept, sorry,
Yeah, no
you have
worries.
to accept that it's not going the way you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because I heard no, no, no so many times. And it's not a way like this. It's like
Yeah.
this.
Mm.
So you also have disappointments, people don't like you. But if you really trust and enjoy, yeah, I felt a joy inside of me
Mm-hmm.
when I'm making TV or doing interviews, and I think that helped me to come in the end where I am now.
Right, and we will touch that, right? First, we said we want to like cover this. It's like, all right, you got an internship and you're now at the TV, right?
Yeah,
Working for TV. So in internship, you immediately stepped in front of the camera, or did you
oh,
work in a background? And how did you then, what was necessary for you to do to be in front of the camera?
yeah, that was a long ride because I was um, because I felt gay and I was ashamed of who I was. Um, I did not say to people I want to be a host
Mm-hmm.
because then I was afraid that they should laugh or they should say, "Oh no, that's not for you."
Mm-hmm.
So it was my own secret that I wanted to be a TV host. But then I became 30 and then no one asked me. I thought these days that one day a producer came to me and said, "Hey, Koos, we like you. We want you to be in front of the camera."
Mm-hmm.
But that never happened.
All right.
So then I start saying that to people that I wanted to do that, and then there was a producer who said, "Okay, then we have a small item for you. You can do it as a star reporter on red carpets, and then you make a report, and then you are the reporter on screen,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to interview famous Dutch people on the premieres and parties." So that's where it started.
Yeah, how was that for you? Imagining if I imagine, right, that I would be all the time behind the scene, right, not being in front, and then they give you this role to talk to famous people, which I don't know if you were used to talk to before, but there is usually some, fear, respectful fear, so to speak, towards famous people, right? We think of them like they're demigods. So sometimes we meet famous people and we are like, right, nothing comes out. So how it was for you?
Yeah, for me it was not. It was normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe that sounds strange, but it was professional.
Mm-hmm.
I think you cannot do the work if you are really like a fan of the famous people, because
Mm-hmm.
then you cannot ask the real questions.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was really professional. I interviewed lots of famous people over the whole world. I've been in Hollywood several times. For example, Brad Pitt, Jennifer Aniston, Celine Dion, Will Smith. So lots of people were in front of my camera, but it was always professional. Yeah, and of course, it's really nice to sit in front of Brad Pitt, but you sit in front of Brad Pitt for 3 minutes, so
Mm-hmm.
you can ask two questions, and then you have to leave, and then another one journalist is coming in. So when you do that 10 times, the 11th time I said, yeah, I'm not going to fly to LA for 3 days to only to do an interview for 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Not to be arrogant, but it's changing during the years.
Yeah.
But you know what? When I was a child and I had a dream to be on screen on the television, I thought when you are on screen, then it's all perfect. Then I reached my goal, and then my life is perfect. I am perfect. The people like me. But then I was on screen, and nothing changed.
Yeah.
So I said to my
Totally.
friend, I said, nothing changed. It's still the same. I have the same worries in my head, the same insecureness inside me. People do not react different. Well, the people on the street, of course, when they start knowing you, but nothing changed. So then I also thought, and I had an insight. So being on screen is nice, but it doesn't solve anything.
Mm-hmm.
Just a job like also the bakery or the butcher or the flower market who sells
Yeah.
flowers. It's nothing special compared to the rest. And I thought as a child, wow, if you are on screen, then it's perfect.
Yeah. God, and how was that for you when you discovered that?
I think it was a little bit disappointing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can imagine, right?
So, but then I also thought, okay, this is not what really is making me happy. Of course, it's my job, and I like my job, and the combination with producing and making things, and then being on screen, that's a really nice combination. But then I thought, if this does not make me happy,
Mm-hmm.
really happy, the happiness, you have to find somewhere else
Mm-hmm.
inside of you. So that was, I think, the start of me finding happiness
Yeah.
in my life.
All right.
Can
And
you? Is it clear? Is it?
yeah, yeah, I got it, right? So it's like you had this passion, you pursue it, you imagined when you were a child living into this dream, right? As it's when you're gonna be hosting TV, when you will be in front of the screen, right? When you will be doing that, life is gonna be perfect. Everybody, the rainbows will be shooting out of the sky, the butterflies will be right. It's like how we imagined, right? When I reach the goal, when I reach this, everything is gonna be like
Yeah.
right, and then you come to that and it's not, and I totally get it, right? Because so many people get it, and that is also one very important aspect of following your passion. Realize that it's still, you still need to work on it, and it's not gonna be all perfect, like it never gonna be all perfect. Because if you look outside, life is imperfect, and that is the perfection on its
Yeah.
own. But anyway,
Oh, beautiful.
yeah. So how did you said I was not, but I wasn't really happy. So how did you then produce that? How did you get to that you were being like, that you start finding
Yeah,
being happy?
I did a job for years, and then I did not feel happy, and then
Mm-hmm.
I start worrying, and then I did some courses about self-employment, how do you say it, personal growth,
Yeah,
and then
self development.
yeah,
Yeah.
development, and then I found out that all the material things are really nice. In life, we have a nice house and a car and nice salaries, and people recognize me on the streets. But that's not important.
Mhm.
It's all about being in connected with myself, with
Mhm.
yourself. That makes you happy, that you are aligned with who you are. So in the end, and now we make a big jump from the start of my career to where I am now. 2 years ago, I quit the job as a host from the TV show because I did not like the subject of the program anymore.
Mhm.
And for years, I thought, now you like it, and you have a nice salary and a car and a phone, and but in the end, I thought this is not what makes me happy. So I
Mhm.
quit the job, and then almost 2 years ago, I started, um, really find myself,
Mhm.
my inner child. Um, yeah, and that's the and now I found a new passion, and it's also all the things I like to do for as in profession, like hosting for a camera, writing texts, interview people. That's what I'm doing right now in a program I created of living a sober life, living a
Mhm.
life without drinking alcohol. Because, and I'll go really fast, I had a I had an alcohol problem. I drank every weekend lots of beer and wine, and it was I was like a devil every weekend.
Mhm.
And during the day I had my career, and then every weekend I was like a devil, and I start making wars with the people around me. So I went to rehab, and now, and that's that's 3 years ago now. So 3 years
Mhm.
ago I quit with the alcohol. Then I found out I don't like my job anymore, and now I'm making the programs, the online. I'm an online entrepreneur. How do you say it?
Yeah,
And
entrepreneur.
I
Yeah.
make programs to help people to live sober life,
Mhm.
not addicts. But there's so many people who drink alcohol, and they are like, yeah, I drink the wine every day, 2 glasses, but actually I don't like it, but I don't know how to quit. And now I made a program for 30 days sober life. And now I'm developing another program for 90 days sober life. And we have live on Zoom, like you and I have, with a
Mhm.
group of people talking. And I'm like the host, and I tell my own experience. And I read a lot about what alcohol is and how and I have lots of tips and tricks to quit drinking alcohol, or to drink less alcohol.
Mhm.
So that's in a very quick
Yeah,
my
got
whole
it.
life.
Oh, but it's cool, right? That you shared. Like we said, you are here with us until 9. And by the way, hi Braxo and Black Mimi said GG in between, I assume. So for what you were sharing in the moment. So maybe the question here is how it was for you when you discovered that your child dream, right, being a TV host and being on screen, which was like like you said, and then you find out that you didn't like the job, right? And then you find a new passion, which is also a really cool thing that that's also one thing that I want to put out through these shows is like you don't need to stick to one passion for your whole life. It's like you
No,
can do something for 10 years and then switch it, or 1 year and switch it. It's like passion is whatever you say you're passionate about. But how it was for you anyway, because you were building that since you were, like you said,
yeah,
6 7 years old, right?
but I'm still building,
Mm.
because all the things I learned in television, like hosting, doing interviews, making programs, I can edit. Now I can use in this new job I created for myself. This is
Mm.
my own business, and I am still working in the Dutch media, radio, TV, and
Mm.
I'm sure I will be back on television, but in a total different area. The program I worked for, it was about showbiz and entertainment. So I was
Mm.
in a studio, and it talked about the personal life of famous people from
Mm.
the Netherlands. like royalty and divorces and new babies and that kind of stuff. But it was so not me. 10 years ago, it was me to be in a red carpet and ask someone, do you have a relationship? We heard you split up. And now I'm not interested anymore. So the subject of the show is not who I am right now. So I developed as a person, and the program stayed the same. And the program is okay, lots of people, but it's not who I am. So when I will be back on television, it's a program about people, like my own story. I've been through some hard times, but that makes me stronger and wiser, and I grew because of those hard times. And that's what I want to put up in a TV show, that I talk to people, famous Dutch people, who had the same. There's so many people who had drugs problems, gambling problems. And I want to show them that no matter what, I want to show the audience that no matter what happens in your life, you can also be happy and successful. So if you had a youth because of your parents who are divorced and you are really disappointed, and as a child you had hard times, that's hard, really hard. But that doesn't have to be the reason that you cannot follow your dreams.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing what you're sharing, because that's also what the goal of my stream is as well, with these TV show, with these talk shows and podcasts, is also to empower people to follow their passion, to through guests present what the guests went through. That's why I ask about how the life was in the teenage years, or even before, if guests want to share it, so that we give people like examples. You're not alone, you're not the only one, and if they can do it, you can do it, right? So what I hear, it's about, you developed, and we met at the program, in the Introduction Leaders program. If you remember, at one day we just were sitting next to each other, right? And the conversation started, and I think only that weekend we had like real conversation, and then afterwards we did, like, for 2 years now we didn't speak, and now we're here, and that's the amazing, right? It's just when you click, even after 2 years, it's like being yesterday we've been together. So, and inside of that program, and like, we are all about contributing to people, because it's like we went through stuff, and we know people are suffering, and there is so much they want to be happy, but they don't know exactly what's in the way. So we want to, like, share with them, look, maybe it's this, maybe you can use something that Koos was going through, and that empowers you, or maybe something from the guests before, or the topics we cover in podcast. So what I hear, what you're doing, it's kind of like, you want to contribute to people, and because you have access to TV and famous people, that is even better, because people look up to famous people, and they think they're all perfect and nothing is wrong with them. Like, they live perfect life, right? When in fact there are golden cages, so to speak, for most of them.
Yeah. So for your listeners now, or
viewers,
the viewers, we people are so programmed that all our thoughts, we think that is reality. So most of the for a long period in my life, my story in my head was, they don't like me because they see I am gay. Yeah, that's my story. No one told me that. But when I had that story in my head, I was not successful because I did not want to show myself. And we are so programmed that we think what we think, that is reality. But it's only our thoughts. And from the moment I start seeing my thoughts as thoughts, just like clouds in the air, and that thoughts can also disappear, then I start developing, and then I became there was like more space in my head, and then I start showing myself, and then things start happening.
Awesome. All right, but you kind of open up also the side, and I want to also touch that, right? Because we have so many ideas, and you said you interviewed famous people and stuff like that. So how did you, how you said you kept professional, and you only saw people, not famous people, and right, and that give you the access that you could actually ask the real questions. But anyway, how are you finding them? Like, you mentioned Bill Smith. which it's one of the coolest, so to speak, person inside of Hollywood. Like many people look up to him. He's really funny and about
Yeah.
family and stuff like that. But you met him. So how did you find him? Like how it was for you to talk to Will Smith and to share. I don't know if it was 3 minutes interview. Maybe I don't know. You share
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, he was really that was one of the most relaxed and also interested in me.
Hmm.
Just yeah, it was. I have really nice memories about of that interview. It was in Paris. I can't remember the movies. And he had a blue sweater years ago, and he was also like, and he liked my sweatshirt as well. So when I came in, he said, "Oh, I like your sweater, and where you from?" And he started having a conversation with me.
Hmm.
And most of the time, the people sit and they wait till you ask a question, and they are polite. But he was really enjoying it, so that was really nice. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. I mean, right, because we are not used to, right, that you have access to those people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right.
And you also know Hugh Grant
Yeah,
from the Bridget Jones Diary. You know
yeah,
that?
I know
Oh,
him.
it was in Amsterdam. It was awful. It was one of my first interviews with with an international star, and it was in a beautiful hotel. And I asked him, did something happen on the set? You were having fun about that. I was just asking for an how do you say
Anecdote, yeah,
anecdote
anecdote,
of
yeah.
and then he said, "Oh, that's such a poor question." I was like, I felt so small. I was like, oh my God. That's
Right.
such a poor question. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you see that's also right. And working on television, how did you find it? Like, let's say that somebody is interested to work on television,
It's
right?
it's
So,
really I like the atmosphere in studios and live TV. The people are up, they are friendly.
mhm,
Together you make a show. Like we are doing now. We're doing something and you feel a kind of energy, yeah?
mhm,
And when you are in a studio with 25 people, all the 25 people are focused to make something for yeah, over a million viewers. That's really really nice.
mhm,
I've been around. I did a lot of reports for Eurovision Song Contest. You know Eurovision Song
mhm,
Contest.
yeah.
Yeah, like that a lot. Of course, I'm gay. uh, and then you are in Tel Aviv with the cameraman, and then the camera is on. And then in the Netherlands, a million people see you talking live from the streets. Yeah, it's still amazing, and that's what I like from the business.
Ah, I can hear it. I can feel it. Like you're really passionate about it.
Yeah,
And
and on the other hand,
yeah.
it's really about the it's an outside world.
Mm,
If I start selling eggs tomorrow on the streets, no one is interested in me anymore,
mm,
and that's
mm,
okay. That's fine. When yeah, you have to deal with it, and that's the TV world. It's outside, it's glamorous, and
mhm,
it's not about who you really are, you know,
mm.
and that's okay. I
Yeah,
find the more serious talks and the deeper meaning in life with other people.
yeah. I mean, kind of resonates that you know what you'll be dealing with. So that's so to speak. You know who your enemy was. So
Yeah.
you just adapted to it, right? And you said before that people, like when you start working on TV, people recognize you on the street. So how did you deal with that? Like, was that like a stressful
Yeah.
thing for you, or you were enjoying it?
Now I had to in the first
Did
years.
you need security? I don't know.
Now the first years I wasn't aware of it.
Yeah.
So me and my boyfriend we were in a restaurant, and then I said, that girl, she's looking at me all the time.
Mhm.
And then he said, yes, Koos, but what do you think? Why? Is there something in my hair? No, you're on TV. Oh yeah. And I was so I was not aware of it,
Yeah.
and during the years I became aware of it, and but there was also a girl at the gas station, he was coming to me. He said, now it's so nice that I see you in real. Oh, how are you? And I was like, oh my God, who is she? Who is she? I don't recognize her. So I said, help me. Do I know you from the village I grew up or the school we were together? No, 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 no. I saw you on TV yesterday. So I I had to get used to it, but it's flattering.
Mm.
My ego likes it.
Cool. I mean, it's glad that you're honest about it, right?
But in the
Yeah.
end, that's not what really makes you happy.
Yeah, no, I got that, right? But it's just like, what I also want to present here is like, how it is to find your passion and then follow it, and what it takes, so that
Yeah,
somebody who is might interested in the same profession as you are, or in the same direction, they might know what's coming at them, and they might be, aware sooner, be prepared, or stuff like that. Anything that would help them succeed in the way.
but let
Mm.
me tell you some things because it's a strange world.
Mm-hmm.
You can make a TV show from TV shows. What's behind the scenes, what's happening. I can tell you stories about a friend of mine. She's really famous in the Netherlands, also a TV host, and she wanted to do a big show. She was to the CEO of the company, big producer, big show, and he said, "Yes,
Mm-hmm.
you can have the show. You can have the show. You can present it, but you have to lose 10 kilograms." Yeah, now I have to laugh about it, but
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, I mean,
for real.
yeah. That's what I also want to ask you, how it is, like you said, it's all great when you're in front of the screen, but what is also, what it takes to be in front of the screen, what you need to do, like, what kind of things you have to deal with, like just one you shared now, right? So they say you
Yeah,
can be, but you have to lose 10 kilos. So, it's either you do it or you are not having the show. And
yeah,
that can be really hard, for anybody to hear that, right? So let's say you just accepted yourself for who you are, you are happy, and you want the job, and you really like the job, and then you can have it because, you have 10 kilos too much by producer's eyes, not necessarily by what physician says, right? But
yeah,
producer says you are overweight.
yeah.
So yeah, so that's what I'm also interested. Like, did you have anything like that to deal with similar stuff, and well, how did you deal with it?
Now I had, yeah, I made my own TV show in which I interviewed famous Dutch people.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to some places in their life who were really important. So, for example, if you are a famous Dutch guy, I pick you up at home, and we go to your school because there's something happened. We go to the place you married, and we go to the place your boy was born,
Mm-hmm.
and then we talk about how that infected you and impacted your life.
Mm-hmm.
And they were really it was a success. The show, we made 4 6 episodes, and it was also really stressful, because of the ratings, and yeah, there was a lot going on. And I like it too to think about everything, about the logo, about the music, about the leader, about everything. That's the
Mm-hmm.
whole creative process. And then they liked it, and they said, "Oh, we want another season, and you can start making it." So I was really happy. I said, "Oh, wow." So I had some other guests already, famous Dutch singer and an actor who want to join. So and then they asked me to come to the office to talk about it. And then he said, "Yes, I think you hate me within 2 minutes." Oh, I said, "Why?" "Yes, because we like the show very much, but we want an other host."
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, "But I was the one who intended this program. I made the program, I produced it, and now you're going to give my child to another host. I, I cannot accept this."
Mm-hmm.
And then I start thinking, do I want to work for this company? Because okay, they can do it, if they can make that decision, but it's a really hard decision, if you develop something yourself and it's a success and they take it and they but in the end I quit the job. That was the beginning of me leaving that broadcasting channel,
Mm-hmm.
because the program I worked for about the entertainment, what I told you a couple of minutes ago, I did not like anymore. And I was like, when they do something like this, I don't, this is not who I am.
Mm-hmm.
So then yeah, we separate. Yeah, we, what do we say it?
Yeah, yeah. You
Yeah,
split ways, part ways.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was really tough. In the end, I can also see that it was necessary for me to make the next step in my life,
Mm-hmm.
because now I really feel what my purpose is, and my purpose is to make that programs and inspiring people to live a sober life and to
Mm-hmm.
quit alcohol or to drink less alcohol than they do. And now inspiring the people, it's so amazing how people react. I made a podcast. I went to the Secretary of State and I asked them, I want to make a podcast. This is my story. Do you like it? And he said, yeah, you can make it. So the government gave me money,
Mm-hmm.
produced the whole podcast, five episodes. It was a big success, and now I can. Now we are talking about another series of 5 episodes to make a new episodes. So if I did not quit that job, if that bloody bastard did not say you cannot host your own show anymore, I was not doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I really like. So for all the viewers, when you are disappointed or you in what way, it's most of the time it's a lesson,
Mm-hmm.
and it helps you growing, and yeah, it helps you coming to your purpose. I think in life you have a purpose. You're not here on this earth just to live.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have a purpose, and if you think you don't have a purpose, find a purpose, because then your life is going to.
Flourish. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's great what you share, right? So what you know, I can't imagine, because it didn't happen to me yet, right? That I would make a project and then they would want to give it to somebody else. But in a way, it's like, still, how did you find the strength then to move on, like that you don't have the resentments and regrets anymore? You said bloody bastard, but I know it's more in a joke than being
Yeah.
incomplete about it. So it felt like, it hurt, was like, yeah, bloody bastard who actually gave me what I have now. So I'm more than thankful that they didn't keep me on the show, that they said you can't do it anymore. But anyway, it's still in that moment, right? They took the show away, you quit the job, and it was your, like you said, your child. How did you move on from that? Like what was
Yeah.
how did you dealt with it?
Trust. Of course, it was a bad period, but I was also relieved that I could develop myself and to create a new future.
Mm-hmm.
We had a good, how do you say it? The way we split, it was I had a
Yeah.
financial base,
Mm-hmm.
so I could do. I can. I sorry, my English.
No worries.
In that moment, I started to find the real me.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because I did not have to do all the showbiz stuff anymore, because it was not who
Yeah.
that
Who you
did not
wanted to
fit
present
anymore.
yourself? Yeah.
So a whole new future was coming up, and yes, it is still insecure, and but yeah, my advice is trust
Mm-hmm.
in talent, and I never doubted about myself.
All right.
So and there's still the thing inside me as I had as a younger child.
Mm-hmm.
I like to produce things. I like to think about how I can reach a big audience, inspiring people, and that's still what I like to do.
Yeah, awesome. I mean,
That's why I'm here in your show.
mhm.
Um, yeah, because I like to join you, and I like to contribute to you what you are doing, and the people are watching you, and now they're watching me, and through our story we can help them or inspire them.
Yeah, amazing. And I got it, and I'm really, I'm really grateful and thankful that you decide and took it on, because I don't take any guest who says yes for granted. And this is today. It's I don't know by heart, because the numbers. I don't want to put that much meaning, because those are people, but it's like you are the 35 or 36 guest
Oh wow.
so far. Yeah, I'm planning for 1001. Like 1001 story of, what is that, it's something from Arabic, ancient Arabic world. It's so yeah. So to have 1001 show with 1001 different people, it's like it will be really awesome. I know it will take 8 to 10 years, so I'm gonna be around for a while. So I really appreciate, especially now when there's a beginning. There is no name of Mr. JP out there that guests would call on their own. Hey, can I be? And then I would be the picky one, but I'm contacting them, and it's really, for every guest that says yes, I'm happy, grateful, and it's a pleasure to host. So yeah, and I got it right. So in that moment, what I also heard is that you actually, like, you were not living in regret that you lost your show, but you rather looked, okay, what's next for me? you
Yeah.
know and I think that is a really good thing everybody can take on, right? So
Yeah.
sometimes you will put yourself into everything, you will create a project, it won't go through, or it will go through like yours, really successful, and then somebody will take it away from you, because they will, whatever reason will that be. And then you can go back in, we know that depression, and easy, it would be the easiest way to reach the drugs and alcohol, to not
Yeah.
deal with that, with the reality. And did you maybe think about that when that happened? Like, did that maybe, you know that, I gotta deal with it, I don't know how to deal with it, and drank yourself up to be
No.
able to sleep?
No, because that's that then it should be a really disappointing about myself, and that was not. I I I want did not want those people to make me that disappointment.
Mhm.
That, do you understand?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really strange because 2 months later they called me if I want to do a job behind the scenes. I just left. You gave me a lots of money
Yeah.
because I left. And now you're asking me to be, yeah, 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 but yeah, 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 yeah. Really strange.
I assume you said no. Yeah, but look, all right, so you're doing this gig now, but still, I'm like, because you're so on point, to be honest, I'm like, where should I go next? And I want to kind of, I had this thing, let's talk more about famous people, but that's just like, I get you, and I really get you that you're a professional in this work. That really landed with me, and that they're just people for you. I mean, they're famous because they're in magazines and we say they're famous, but actually they're people who are doing what they're doing, and they're doing it good. That's why they're famous, because they're
Yeah,
successful. Just like you also, you can go talk to anybody in Dutch now, and because they know you from TV, you might have an easier access than anybody else, but it's because you worked for it. It's not like because you were lying on the sofa and hoped something will happen. And I
no,
think and I think that is also to be appreciated, and like, to be acknowledged, right?
yeah,
So
yeah. And you might think that famous people are happy,
mm,
but they're not. They have the same things that we all have. They have those irritations to their parents. They have those annoying children. They drink too much, or they use drugs. Yeah, they have big houses and big cars, but in the end, that's not what really makes you happy.
that and your story is inspiring in that as well, because you said it, you earned also a lot of money, and it's like, imagine to be a TV host, well paid, you also didn't have like the cheapest car and the cheapest house, I imagine. And you discover that. So that's amazing, right? And we also cover one other topic here, especially for people who are in relationships. So I always ask people, like, what is the core of relationship between you and your husband? You're married now.
Yeah,
So yeah, but I want to ask one other question before we got to that. So how big was his stand for you in all this, what you shared with us? I don't know how long you two
ah,
are together, but you can share all, like, the share with us, like, how long you are together, and what works, and how big was the stand. Because in my eyes, it's like, it's one thing to deal with something when most people, you're not exposed to the public, and it's whole another thing when you have this public image out there. Almost everybody like know who the Koos is. So it's like, you know it takes a little bit more from the partners, I think, than if you're working in a
yeah,
bank, and most of the people don't know you.
yeah. But before you start about asking about my relationship, I was thinking I could make all those steps because I had this fundament of a relationship, and he also he has his own company.
Mm-hmm.
So without him, it was a different story, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So he is my guide on the back, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So quitting a job and don't know where it ends. Yeah, if I was alone, I don't think I did dare that. No, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't do that. I think, but
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, we know each other now for almost 10 years, and we have a really nice relationship. I think we are two individuals having fun together
Mm-hmm.
and do things on our own. That's really important for me. And for him also, we have our own careers and we share a lot. We have 3 dogs, and I think yeah, and I think I'm really happy. It really
Yeah.
sounds strange to say, but of course, not every day is really perfect. But yeah, since I found my inner purpose, and the last year, something shifted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what shifted? Share with us, like, how it
Yeah,
was
I
before,
found.
and then what shifted it. I mean, you
Yeah,
said your purpose, but share,
yeah, yeah.
because we're all interested in the all right, and you will share that. And before you leave, also Karina has a question. Hey guys, I have a question that Yarna usually asks. What would you say is the secret to your relationship with your husband? It was at the same time as I
Oh
asked
wow, that's a
question. Yeah.
nice question.
Yeah.
Thank you. The secret is that we are two individuals having a nice relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and so we do not really depend. You have an age relationship.
Mm-hmm.
When someone falls, the other stands.
Mm-hmm.
Will stand, or you have an A relationship, and when the one falls, the other one falls too. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so you depend on each other too much,
Mm-hmm.
and we are free to do what I want. For example, I did a. Do you know the show Survivor? You go with people to an island, and then
Mm-hmm.
you have to Robinson
Yeah.
Expedition Robinson. And I was
Robinson.
one
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
the contestants a couple
Mm-hmm.
of years ago in the Netherlands. In the Netherlands, it's with famous people,
Mm-hmm.
and there was no doubt for him not letting me go because I was away for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really special, that you are in a relationship. And he said, "Coach, you have to do this. This is a big opportunity. I arrange here everything. We have animals. We have also chicken, and it's going to be okay. You have to do this."
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, this is an example of letting each other do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
sometimes then you are alone, but then I think, yes, now he is doing something for him is really important, and I want him to do what he wants to do.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. It just go also, very well with how I see a relationship and how I want to live it as well. Just what you said. for me it's really important, the freedom, right? That you have a freedom, even though if you're in a relationship, that you have this freedom, that you still do what you want to do, and that it's really important, and then the other person accept that, and it's even better if they support that. So I
Yeah.
really hear that. And there is it's a trick question, by the way. I put it to every guest. It's a bit fun that I have with guests. So, everybody who I ask what is the secret to your relationship start saying a lot of things, right? Like, describing it, what works. And then I just ask them a simple question. Is it the secret that you two love each other?
Ah,
so
I
so
think,
that, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, right. That's it.
love. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
but what is love? That is
Oh
also
yeah.
it's a difficult. It's not that every day that I think, oh, I like you so much.
Yeah, no, I totally get it.
Oh,
No, I totally get it. It's just like it's a trick question. I mean, trick question. It's good to hear because to different people, different is important, and it's all valuable. But in the end, we all can agree. Well, it's love. I love him. That's why. That's why we're together. That's the secret. We love each other. It's
yeah,
not all roses, and butterflies and stuff like that, like you just shared. But it's just like it's a bit of fun that I have. So hey, really awesome, right? I mean, and maybe last thing you can share. So you're living in Netherlands, and marriage there between gay people is legal, right? As far
yeah,
as yeah. So, but did you ever encountered with your husband like some bullying because you two were together? Like how are you dealing with that? Because I
yeah.
cannot imagine, right? That's why I'm asking. Like, and also to put it out, right? Like what was the consequence on you? What was the impact on you, right? Being bullied for who you are.
Yeah, for we personal did not on the streets but lots of violence. There's lots of violence, and it's becoming more and more. But I think in the whole world, there's more violence and aggression. Eh? People are like fucked up.
Mm,
I don't know how it is in where you live, but
mm,
here in the Netherlands, yeah, people are starting getting worried, and but that's strange, yeah, because people know me in the Netherlands, and you have those sites there's an article about me on a site, and then in the reactions. There they are really extreme and violent, and it's also about gay and you bloody fucking gay and dead and that's awful. I don't read the
reactions.
reactions anymore
Mhm,
because it's so also on Twitter and on what I get on direct messages on Instagram from people are like, why?
mm,
If you don't like me and you think I'm bloody fucking gay and you don't want me to be alive, I'm not interested in your feedback. Come
mm,
on.
yeah.
Sometimes it's really heavy because of heavy. It's in your face.
Mm,
I cannot imagine that I'm sitting here behind my laptop and that I say to someone else, "You
dying.
are bloody fucking gay, and you have to. You I don't want you to live anymore." What's happening in your head when you start doing that?
Mm.
Go put on some music and dance instead of that.
Yeah. Hey, Mikey. Yeah, you are a little late. It's the show will we're almost at the end. Um, so it's 9 o'clock, and us to be
Yeah, I will
integrity.
tell you why I don't have that time.
Mm-hmm,
I work now on a radio show, and it's
mm-hmm.
a morning show,
All right. So you gotta go to sleep. I got it.
and I have to get out of bed 3:30.
Mm-hmm. Look,
Oh,
whatever. Look, you were not obliged to say that. No worries, right?
no, but
Because
then you
yeah.
know why and I have to do some work now, so then I can sleep for 5 hours. Then it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the evenings are short for me.
Yeah, but then you start really early, so the day is long. So
Yeah,
kind
a
of
really
bring it
long
in,
day.
right?
But
Yeah.
when I come back, I sleep for an hour in the
Mm.
afternoon.
Right. you find a way, and I know you have all the all the tools to structure and stuff like that to support yourself, whatever you want to do, that you can fulfill it. But yeah, I really appreciate you taking the time, and share all that with us, especially about how it was when you were a kid, with all the being gay, hiding that. I mean, that's really insightful. And also working on television, and how you approach working with famous people, that they're just people, and what you shared, like that they're just people like us. They still have resentments and regrets with their parents, and everything you shared was just like, it was awesome. I know we could talk for hours and hours, and we would,
Yeah.
but kind of I had to be on point because you're with us in an hour. So maybe some other day, some other time, we will hook up again, and maybe include you in one of the podcasts. In
Yeah.
podcasts we do topics. We had like responsibility and sex, and I don't know,
Ah.
time, and we are having fear on Monday.
Yeah.
So
But I can. There are some nice TV plans for me coming up.
mhm,
Also,
mhm,
now and half a month
mhm,
depends on COVID.
mhm.
So you can also always contact me, and you see the pictures on my Instagram. So maybe we can have another conversation or whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, it would be awesome, right? And I would also like, ask you to like a feedback. Like, you can give
Yeah.
it now, or you can give it me privately. Like, how did you find it, and maybe what we can do, you know, different, that it would be more approachable and more known out there. Maybe also about something about marketing, because you're also experiencing that, right?
Yeah. Let me
So
think about that.
yeah, think about it, and write to me, and I will share it with the community when you will say
Nice.
to me, and what we
How
can
many
apply.
viewers did see me?
I have no idea.
Oh.
Currently, there are 9.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well. Okay. Enjoy. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see each other.
We'll see each other. Exactly. Cuz it was a pleasure, and all the best with your business. Really.
Thank you. You too,
Yeah.
eh? And we'll keep in contact.
We will. Have fun.